Hello, and welcome back to the second episode of Imperatori Environmentalis, I believe. And today, we're continuing where we left off on episode 1, and we are mining. I know, it's exciting. So, where we left off on our first day, we planned a bunch of things out for the series, and we chopped down a bunch of wood, found a place for our mine, which is right here. So that was just the regular first night stuff, but now stuff is going to start picking up. Well, things are going to start picking up. Yeah, so we planned out villages and highways and many other things. So now we just got to start putting them in motion. So our highways, probably going to have one for each cardinal direction. I found that just generally useful. Once I find a village, then things will probably start picking up more. But until then, I just have to our main objective right now is to get a bed. And in order to get a bed, one first needs to acquire wool or string. And our issue is that there's no wool because we're in a taiga biome and we're surrounded by forested biomes. So there's not going to be any wool anywhere. So therefore, in order to get wool, I have to kill spiders. And that's a little bit spooky. I'm on hard mode. That's not good. Not necessarily good. So for the mine shaft here, it's just going to be just this, and then it's probably going to go downwards. Not like on a slope or with a ladder. Fun story, I wasn't actually recording any audio there, so I'm just going to cut most of it out, but what we did there is we found iron, 16 iron ore. I said I'm not a speedrunner, and that I didn't need to be good because I'm not a speedrunner, and that's why I didn't get iron for forever. And then I tried to punch a bat for 2 minutes, and I failed, and then I realized that my microphone was off, so, yep, good start. And right over here is going to be where we put our first nether portal. There's lava already there. Right over there is going to be our first base. There's our mine. So things are already starting to map out just pretty well. So I have a bunch of wood on me. So I can probably build a house. Oh no. Nope. 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 Yeah. That was a bit scary. Okay. It depends where the skeleton is. I need bones, because I'm going to make an army, and the army is going to be of wolves. And in order to get wolves, you need bones. In order to get bones, you need to murder skeletons. So... Actually, no, I don't need to whisper, because I'm in the game. It doesn't count if I'm not in the game. How did he see me? I was behind him. What is that? Super sense? No, it's not. You're bad. Oh, nice. Oh. Are you kidding me? Worst bow? Probably ever. So... you could say that bow was so rare, but so useless. That wordplay is going to go right over a bunch of people's heads, I'm sure. I bet there's going to be a few comments calling me dumb now. If people actually watch it. So, I have bone. I'm going to tame the dog. Dog, come with. Do you want to be a slave dog? Ah, no, so sad. So sad. I'm probably gonna build a new house. Right over here, actually. This is a nice little area. Okay. So, now, in order to build a new house, one must first destroy the natural land environment. So therefore, boop, what is that, a wolf? So, one must first decimate the natural environment. So I'm going to build a house here. But in order to do that, I first need to dump all my stuff in there, and then log. Time to log the forest. Okay. Climate change is real, confirmed. Alright, so... this is really nice, because I don't have to do that much. I'm not entirely sure what I should talk about, though. Gotta keep those YouTube engagement levels up. But how? Because I don't really know what to talk about. Oh, I know what to talk about. I watched the first presidential debate the other day, which was really fun, actually. And the first presidential debate, I don't want really to get into politics, but it was basically two shriveled old raisins yelling at each other for like an hour and a half. And it was really funny because they're supposed to be leaders of countries, so you would have thought both of them would have been more mature than they were. But nope, no. I think probably coming out of it, one of the raisins looked weak, and one of them looked a little bit stupid. So yeah, it was. I feel really bad for Americans if that's the style of debate they have. To be fair, the federal leaders debate in Canada would kind of devolved into everyone yelling at each other too. So in some ways it's good, in some ways it's bad. So that's the politics talk for the day, without actually talking about politics, just talking about the debates. I watched this second debate, and it was pretty good. They moderated it better, so it wasn't very much yelling, wasn't very much interrupting, and I'd say I'm really excited to see how the election turns out. If one of the candidates wins, I'm not going to disclose which candidate, but if one candidate wins, if it's my favorite candidate, it could be Trump, it could be Biden, it could be the opposition party. Oh, funny joke, there is no opposition party. There's the Democrats and the Republicans in America. If one of them wins, not disclosing which one, then I will throw a party, not like, well, a hangout, yes. I will have a celebration. Yeah. So, yeah. Political content is a great way to get destroyed. It's a great way to get your shins kicked by YouTube and by commenters. You know, I really like YouTube flame wars in the comments because a lot of them are like someone sensible going up against someone who's not sensible. Like, I really love arguing with people who don't know what they're talking about, because if you know what you're talking about, then you can basically just sit there and slowly prove every single one of their points wrong, and either they choose to concede the argument to you, or they look like a complete idiot to whoever actually knows what said topic is about. And yeah. So The Mandalorian came out yesterday, and I started watching it, and like, if you don't want spoilers, then you probably should just not watch this after this point. Spoiler warning. Okay, if you haven't left by now, then here's the spoilers. So, in The Mandalorian, in the first episode of the first episode of the second season, they had the giant plotline with the Tusken Raiders, and I really loved that, because a lot of other Star Wars medias, the sequels, have tried to add new stuff on to the existing things, while also trying to do a bunch new, and it just didn't work. I think the sequels are gross. They're little abominations. I don't like them. I don't think the actors like them. I don't think anyone likes them. I don't think anyone remembers them. I don't. They're gross and they're bad. And they're just... Like, my friend and I had a conversation for literally an hour and a half about why the prequels are bad. Like, that's how much I think they're bad. Like, say what you want about the original trilogy. I agree. Anakin's actor was a little bit weird. You underestimate my power. I think that was a little bit numb. But I still think that Ewan... I don't know how to pronounce his name, I'm sorry. But Obi-Wan Kenobi, his actor, did an amazing job. Palpatine's actor, amazing job. you know, Episode 3 is genuinely my favorite Star Wars movie. Hot take, I feel. Well, it used to be a hot take. Well, no, I'm not entirely sure about that, because it's a good movie. Yeah, a hot take nowadays would be to say that the sequels are good. At least if you're in, like, a Star Wars comics or whatever. Then a lot of people would kind of, like, give you sideways looks. And be like, oh, really? Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, the sequels are gross and bad, and the original trilogy, I feel, are kind of like on this untouchable pedestal, where like no one can find anything wrong with them. Like, and that actually makes sense, because the original trilogy it's probably the best Star Wars. Except for Episode 3, I'd say it's just Star Wars at its best. It's so well done. It is pretty campy though, but that's because of its era. Yeah. My friend's favorite movie, I believe it's Return of the Sith, and that makes a lot of sense. Like, that movie's really good. But yeah, so I don't like the sequels, just because the sequels, like, they're just trying to do too much, but they're also trying to shoehorn in everything old, so it just doesn't work. It's like they're doing the thing where, like, the Republic are gone, where the Republic's gone, and there's a team of ragtag rebels trying to fight off the evil Empire. But no, and it would have worked perfectly fine in Star Wars if they would have just made it in like an alternate universe, or if they would have made it 100 years before or after the events of New Hope. But instead what Disney decides to do is they're like, yeah, let's put it 30 years after the original Star Wars. That makes a lot of sense. We're smart, we're good, money, yes, money. And then it completely ruins, like, everything, because originally at the end of the original trilogy, the big plot, the big thing is done. There's a new republic, the Empire's gone, Anakin fulfilled his purpose, he brought balance to the Force, so on, so forth. But then in the sequels, like, literally none of it matters. None of it matters. So now every time I watch Rogue One, or whatever, like, yeah, the New Republic's cool and all, but it gets destroyed in the first 3 minutes of the sequels. And that's probably why I don't even consider the sequels canon. Like, I just don't like them that much. Like, in my head canon, after, like, a lot of things are canon. Like, you know, Solo, I didn't entirely like Solo. I didn't think it was the best thing, but it was a pretty good movie. And Rogue One, like, I just need to say, like, I'll give credit to Disney. I don't like what Disney's done to Star Wars, but I'll give them credit, because Solo is genuinely, it's such a good movie. Like, wow, it's so good. So, well, no, not Solo. Sorry, no, not Solo. Solo, sorry. Not Solo. Solo is an movie. I really did kind of like how they made all those plot twists come out of nowhere, because it fits with the theme of the movie, but I didn't like how they came out of nowhere with no setup whatsoever. So, yeah, a bit of a mixed bag on that one. But either way, I think that Rogue One, genuinely, that's one of my favorite Star Wars movies. Like, that's such a good movie. It's like that. A lot of people will say that they don't like female main characters because they're just replacing men, and in a way I kind of agree with them. Like, I like that there's women as positive role models in the media nowadays, but it's kind of like, how much is too much? Because there's some point that you hit in which, like, I don't like Rey, because her character is just bad, and it's not, and like, basically her one defining characteristic is, oh, she's from a desert planet like Luke, and let me think about it. Oh, yeah, she scavenges the old, like, Jakku is such a cool setting that Disney completely wasted. So, yeah, she does things yeah, she scavenges for the food packets, and she knows how to twirl a staff really cool. And then she becomes a Jedi because she knows how to twirl a staff really cool. Honestly, I don't like it. I don't like it. And, like, I don't like her character just because she's, like, a one-dimensional character. Or, no, two-dimensional. Two-dimensional, that's what I meant. She's just so boring. Like, her parents are gone. Yeah. What other motivation does she have? I can't even think of it because I don't even remember. And I think that's it's just a little bit of a bad... I just don't like her character. Her character's just bad. And it's the same with Kylo Ren. Like, Kylo Ren, you know Darth Vader? I'll give Disney something else. Like, with Rogue One did Darth Vader right. Like, that is... Like, that... The scene where he tells Krennic not to choke on his aspirations, it's one of my favorite scenes ever. And the one where he slowly approaches the rebels and kills all of them, also my favorite. Like, it's... I also think that, like, I don't like EA that much, but I'll give EA something that in their Star Wars game, they did Darth Vader pretty well, because, like, isn't it that one of them, I don't play the game, I just watch some clips of it, the woman runs towards Darth Vader, and it just, like, casually flicks her out of the air, and she falls off the cliff. Like, that's just so fitting. And in this, and he's so cool, and he's so timeless, because you still see kids dressing up as him nowadays. And then you have Kylo Ren. I don't like Kylo Ren. He's just bad. Like, it's like, oh yeah, I've had a troubled childhood, and I have the wrong allegiance, and I'm Ben Solo's son, and that's cool, and all, but whenever he doesn't get his way, he throws a little hissy fit and destroys everything like a little toddler. It's just bad. It's super bad. I don't know why Disney would ever decide to make that one of the main antagonists. And Snoke is pretty cool in Episode 7. I liked Episode 7. I still think it kinda wrecked a few things, but, like, it's not as bad as in Episode 8 and whatever, because, like, at the end of Episode 7, they could take it two ways. There could be, because at the ending, it's, Rey holds out the lightsaber to Luke Skywalker. And they could have done it so that Luke is a retired Jedi, or he's tired of fighting for the galaxy, maybe because things have become unjust again, or whatever. But, it could have been such a legendary, cool setup for a new movie. And like, it's epic, and, like, I'll give Episode 7 a lot of things, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Like, I don't think the Starkiller base was that good of an idea. It's like, wow, we're gonna build a giant super weapon, because the Empire that directly preceded us totally didn't do that, and totally didn't collapse directly after they built two of them. And then they proceed to make a planet-sized super weapon, and then they destroy it, and they're like, oh, how could this have happened? How could this have been averted? No, it's just get a bunch of Star Destroyers to hover over planets. Like, the First Order's dumb. And I'll give Episode 7 that, though. It's, like, I don't entirely like the Starkiller base, but it's cool. Like, Episode 7 is pretty cool. Except for Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren is just bad. He's just gross. But then in Episode 8, I don't know what happened with Episode 8, but Episode 8, I don't even remember most of Episode 8, because I've deliberately, like, my brain doesn't like the sequels so much that it's forcing them out of my memory. So, and then in Episode 8, it's just like, wow, Rey, my child, you have brought the light sword to me from across the galaxy. And then, instead of being, like, you know, Luke's character and taking it and going to help her, he chucks it behind him and then goes to drink some green cow milk. Not even cows. Those things are ugly. They should be exterminated. And then, like, there's the pongs, those little bird things. No, I just want to destroy all of them and eat all of them. I don't know why Disney marketed those so much. They're literal eggs that deserve to be exterminated and eaten immediately. So episode 8 is just it's just bad. And you know Mon Mothma? Like, Mon Mothma is, I'd say she's pretty cool. Except for the fact that she decides that it's a good idea to disband the New Republic military. And then it's like, you have no military, and then you're surprised when a hostile force takes you over. How could anyone have seen that coming? Mon Mothma? And, like, episode 8, my favorite part of episode 8 is when she hyperspace jumps directly through the Star Destroyer. It looks amazing. It is amazing. It's a shame it's tied to such a horrible, turdy mess that is episode 8. Yeah, I don't even remember most of episode 8. Oh, at the end, Luke Skywalker force conjures himself, which is a literal, it's just such a lame thing to do. It's like, he's a legendary Jedi, so he could actually go there and stop all the bolts with his mind and then push them back. That would have been cool. That would have been an epic way for him to die. To expend all his force energy on doing that and destroy all the ATSTs. But no, not ATST, ATATs. But instead, he's just like, I don't really want to leave my house, so I'm just gonna force conjure myself to the planet like a little scaredy cat. Yeah. And then he does that, and then he dies, and it's meaningless. And then this is gonna be longer than I need to finish this rant. So then in episode 9, I think they did a lot of things right in episode 9, and I think it's a movie. It's not as good as episode 7, but I still say it's pretty good. And then, so in episode 9, at the end, like, I don't remember most of it again. And, like, those new red stormtroopers, I don't know why Disney added those. They didn't need to. Like, that was wildly unnecessary. And they're lame. Like, just get normal white stormtroopers. You have so many different stormtrooper variants. You don't need them but painted red. Like, why would you paint them red? And then Disney's like, oh yeah, they're Sith troopers and they're elite. And we see them for literally 5 minutes, and the only time I see them is when they die. What's the point of that, Disney? And it's just why? But yeah, going back to the thing, I don't remember most of the plot of episode 9. Like, wasn't it? Oh, I forgot. I completely forgot. In episode 8, like, I want to forget these things, but I just need to talk about them before I forget them permanently. Until I watch them with my girlfriend to show them. If I have a girlfriend. Yeah, I won't have one, but if I do have one. But, like, in episode 8, at the end, there's the big final confrontation with Snoke. And Snoke's like, Yes, oh, get the lightsaber, kill her, join the dark side, or whatever he says. And he's a little CGI baby thing, so he just looks dumb. And, like, there's all these red guards that Rey just kind of defeats in, like, 5 seconds. It isn't even climactic, it just looks kind of dumb. Yeah. And then, like, he gets legitimately this... he has, like, some kind of mental awakening when like, they're about to do the lightsaber and hold the lightsaber, but it turns out that it's beside him, and then he gets chopped in half, and it just looks dumb. Like, I didn't even think it was that serious. I didn't laugh because it was in the theater. So, I don't know why they did that. They completely wasted Snoke. Like, and then in episode, and then they're like, in episode 7, Snoke is pretty cool. Like, that scene where he looks down on them, and he's telling them that there's, like, a new Jedi, or telling Kylo Ren there's a new Jedi or whatever. Like, that's Kylo Ren's coolest scene, I think. And that's Snoke's coolest scene. And Snoke seems like, you know, a scary man who's scary and spooky and will actually do something. And then then in episode 8 he's there for like 5 minutes and then he dies. And it's the same with Captain Phasma. You know Captain Phasma? I think her armor's cool and I think she's cool, kind of. Well, I used to. In episode 7 I did. And then, like in episode 8, I thought she was going to be a main antagonist, but then she shows up and then she dies within like 5 minutes. Like, Disney wasted that too. Like, what's the point, Disney? That's just so dumb. Why would you ever decide to do that? So they wasted Captain Phasma, they wasted Snoke, and then in episode and then the end of episode 8 is where they have those modified AT-ATs. I'll give Disney this. Modified AT-ATs do look pretty cool. But like, the scene where Kylo Ren's like, fire upon him with all you got. It just looks, yeah, I don't know. I think Luke Skywalker is cool, but in the sequels, he's just a little scaredy cat boy thing who just doesn't. He's just lame in the sequels. I just don't like the sequels. The sequels are just lame, and yeah, and then at the end of it, isn't it like Rey holds up all the rocks? I don't know. Rey's just Rey's just kind of bad. And then in episode 9, they do the thing where it's like, isn't it where there's Palpatine doing what Palpatine does, trying to get Rey to turn to the dark side, and I think they did a lot of fan service there, because like the fans love the lines, "Would do it," and he says all of those things, probably in a vain attempt. Probably, yeah, it worked on me. I enjoyed those lines, but probably just to appeal to the fans. But it just looks so. Oh, Palpatine was it necessary to have Palpatine? Probably the only reason they even had Palpatine was because they killed Snoke in episode 8. Why would they do that? And so, in the end of episode 9, I think what it's like is that they have that giant fleet of Death Star Star Destroyers, which is like stakes high enough already. If they get that, then they can just blow up planets. But it's a bit unnecessary though, because why would you need a fleet of Star Destroyers that could blow up planets? I mean, you can just have normal Star Destroyers and just like nuke or glass the planet's surface. That'll accomplish the same thing as blowing up the planet. At least then you'll still get the resources from the planet. And so they have that, and like the stakes are high enough already. And then it's like they're falling off or whatever. And doesn't that girl that Finn likes die? Isn't her name Poppy? I have some semblance of pity for the actor who had to play her, so I'll say the character's name correctly. Rose. So doesn't she die? I don't even remember her character that much. Wait, in episode 8, isn't there that weird side plot that they do where, isn't there that just strange side plot where they go to that slave planet and blow up something or other to free the slaves? I don't even care about that. It's like, no. That's what the New Republic should be for. Not some girl. I think it was just their Disney's attempt to make Rose's character seem better, but it really didn't work, because I thought she just looked kind of dumb. Like, oh yeah, we gotta get so-and-so. Oh yeah, but before the fate of the galaxy's hanging in the balance, but before we go, we have to save some slaves. Oh yeah, and I probably shouldn't say that on the internet, because freeing slaves is good, but it's just, they don't even free the slaves in the end. They don't even free them.
Do you want to play Bed Wars with me?
So again, in the end, they don't even free the slaves, and then they're like,
Oh,
"Yeah, we did a good thing. We did a good thing." And it's just dumb, and it was unnecessary. And oh yeah, there's also that guy who betrays them. I don't even remember him. I don't even remember what he looks like. I just don't like the movies. And so then in the end, they're like, well, I don't even know what they went there to get. So like that's how bad it is. And so yeah, and then in the end, it's like the stakes are so high. Oh, we're all gonna die. The galaxy's gonna perish if you don't do so and so. Like it's stakes high enough. But then Palpatine starts shooting lightning out of his fingers, which just disables everyone. And then I don't even remember what happens next. Isn't it that Rey like kisses Kylo Ren? I don't think he deserves a woman because he's a little gross rat man who's just bad. So he does that, and they do that, and then no, that's after. Well, Rey falls over or whatever, and all the Jedi speaks to her, which probably is the best moment in all of the sequels, and then after that, oh yeah, he dies, which is good because I wanted him to die from Episode 7. So I was actually happy. Well, no, I wasn't at the time. I was sad. Like, because this was over a year ago. Disney hasn't done anything new with Star Wars, probably because of the sequels and how bad they are. So, he dies, and everyone rejoices, and then in the end, isn't there, like, something happens, that they hug each other. I don't know. I noticed that in episode 9 and 8 that they just completely chucked BB-8 out of the window, probably because BB-8 is lame. Like, BB-8's so bad. He's just R2-D2, but he's a circle. Like, no, you should just stomp on him and destroy him because R2-D2 is cooler. Like, what did BB-8 do? Oh, BB-8's this circle who brought information to people once in episode 7. And what did R2-D2 do? He saved Padme from something. Like, I'll link a video in the description. It's an R2-D2 kill count. R2-D2 decimates entire Separatist fleets. No, entire Separatist ships. He kills multiple other droids. Like, he helps Jedi, he helps the Senate, and R2-D2 is legendary. He's so cool. And he carries messages for Luke. He's there. What was that? Oh, no, not Phantoms, No, I don't like those, No. Oh, no. Okay, I'll give Mo Yang this. Phantoms are bad, and I don't... Well, no, Phantoms are good, but they're not the best, but they are scary, and I'll give Mo Yang that. But anyways, back to my little tangent. So what Disney... Yeah, so this either comes before or after. I don't remember the ending, but it's kind of like Rey. Oh yeah, Rey dumps those lightsabers into the sand. Oh yeah, in the movie it turns out that Rey was a Palpatine, which I thought was pretty cool, but it still doesn't give her character motivation, and her character's still bad. So and then at the end she chucks the lightsabers in the sand and stuff, and then it turns out that she's gonna train the new generation of Jedi, but that's what Luke was supposed to do, which he did do in literally everything except the sequels. I don't know why Disney did this. I don't know why Disney does anything that they do, but I'm hopeful because The Mandalorian exists, and The Mandalorian is really good. And so now back to our original tangent. But The Mandalorian is good because it just adds on to what exists, but they add on in a way that actually makes sense and is good. They don't just arbitrarily add on. So that's my rant and a 42 minute episode done. So thanks for watching and listening to me rant about Star Wars. And, goodbye. Oh, also my house is done. I'll show you it from the outside. Here's my house. It looks pretty good. And there's phantoms outside, so I'm gonna stay inside of this house. Alright, bye.